You see, dear one, Christianity was a religion for the people, not for the royalty. And Constantine realized that it's a great religion from his point of view. If he can be head of this in some sense, if he can adopt this religion for the empire, it's just what he needed for what he wanted to achieve. This sort of pyramid of power that he's at the top of. So he put his resources to it. It doesn't make the story true. It was just God's way of making sure it would survive at least the next 2,000 years over half the planet. Wow. The story doesn't have to be true in some historistic sense. It only has to contain the spiritual reality that's needed for the children of God, us. Life. He's come to rescue us. And it speaks to a people. Is it the proletariat? Is it the common man? Whatever it is, the mass of the population that without the knowledge of God is suffering a pretty hard life. Some are slaves, some are conscripts in wars they don't want to fight. Some are just, most are just dressed in poverty and have a few individuals in incredible affluence lording it over them. They're abused. There's no realization of God in their life. They're suffering, and this is a religion that empathizes with suffering, reaches out to it, has an element of ghastliness that rings true to their experience in their world. You get crucified here by circumstance. And there's a crying out for God without even knowing of him or what or how. You just know you long for release, desperately long for release in this sort of what we might think of as medieval environment or ancient world subjection like early empire and so on. So it comes to the rescue, this story. What a blessing. Christianity, I mean. I don't mean now the terrible things that have been done in its name, like crusade and Inquisition and so on. I mean the transcendent hope that it's brought to so many down the ages. See, God has allowed the religion because of his love. But he dispensed with technical, chronological, time, truth. Gave it a story that would speak to the hearts of those that suffer and rescue them in their plight. And you can see it in this song, can't you? I mean, really, I was struck by the second verse. You know, the first verse is, well, even the first verse, my song is love unknown, which is just beautiful. my Saviour's love to me. Love to the loveless shown. Oh, goodness. There comes in that Christianity. I'm so unworthy, aren't I? I'm loveless. But kids are not loveless. They're eating a sweet. They give one to mum. They want to see her eating it, and as she eats it, they're delighted. They're not loveless at all. They are lovely, and she does bring out the love in them, of course. And then this tragic ending to the first verse. Oh, who am I that for my sake, oh, miserable wretch that I am, unworthy, not worthy so much as to eat the crumbs under thy table like the dogs. My Lord should take frail flesh and die. And there's this horrific situation of the crucifixion. I mean, it's to someone brought up in the palace of modern world, where, everything's hunky-dory for the child, this is just appalling. But to someone who's suffered all sorts of abuse and suffering, it speaks to them, you see. It comes to their aid, their rescue. Wonderful. And here it says it in verse 2. He came from his blessed throne, heaven above, you see. Salvation to bestow, to rescue, to save us from sins and the consequence of sin, which is the terrible life they're suffering, apparently. But men made strange, they didn't recognize this good soul had come. And the longed for Christ would know. But oh, my friend indeed, you see now, look at that touch there. But oh, my friend indeed, who at my need his life did spend, came to save us, you see. It spells out overwhelming devotion in gratitude for rescue and help. It touches those that need to be touched so much. And then it goes through, sometimes they strew his way, and his sweet praises sing, resounding all the day, hosannas to their King. And it is a great thing of contrast, this, isn't it? Last two lines again. Then crucify is all their breath, and for his death they thirst and cry. It's an incredibly emotional hymn, isn't it? It's to get through to especially those who suffer and long for something better. Why, what hath my Lord done? What makes this rage and spite? He made the lame to run. He gave the blind their sight. Sweet injuries. Yet they at these themselves displease, and gainst him rise. The inexplicable, you see. A lovely person come to help and to bless, treated abominably. The story, it hits you. Indignation rises within you. This is not right, and you know what's right. They rise and needs will have my dear Lord made away. A murderer, they say, the Prince of Life, our friend, they stay. They slay. Yet cheerful he to suffering goes, that he his foes from thence might free. In other words, he just gives a loving response. He's the sacrifice. I mean, it's horrific stuff. This is pure Canaanite theology, I can tell you. We need something perfect to appease the gods. I mean, really. But still. 6, in life, no house. appreciate that, being on the verge of homelessness at the minute. No home my Lord on earth might have. In death, no friendly tomb. Actually, well, of course, the whole story is there was a tomb for him. I'm not sure the tomb is ever friendly, in fairness, but still. But what a stranger gave. Yeah, I recognise that, but what a stranger gave. What may I say? Heaven was his home, but mine the tomb wherein he lay. In other words, he's suffering for us. He's come to rescue us, and he takes the cost. And this spells in us devotion, love. And that's what's needed to rescue man from despair and misery. Devotion and love transforms everything, you see. Verse 7, here might I stay and sing. You see, rejoicing devotion. Arms high in the air, loving on him. No story so divine. Never was love, dear King. Never was grief like thine. You know, his giving, his goodness, you see, suffering for us. It touches the hardest of hearts. This is my friend, in whose sweet praise I all my days could gladly spend. So, do you see the loveliness of this story in what it achieves? Devotion to goodness, our Heavenly Dad. Well, in fact, this is my friend, in whose sweet praise I all my days could gladly spend. Thank you, Heavenly Dad. But it's not the Jesus story. Read John 17. See how much of this is in Christianity. How much of Christianity is in John 17. Okay, there's traces of it in the rest of John, but not much. More sort of giving lip service to the other three Gospels, the synoptics as they're called, which really track out much the same with developments in Matthew, Mark, Luke. Well, probably Mark and then Luke and then Matthew. I'm not sure, what the order might have been, if indeed they necessarily always knew of the others, Hence we get all sorts of hypothetical ideas about document Q and so on and so forth. I don't know. But thank God I don't need to know. I know what I value. And I find much of it in John 17. I don't find it in the Christian faith, not in the same way. I find much, as you can see from my analysis of this hymn. But it's not the fullness of the Jesus story that I find from John 17. And where else should I look but at the prayer, the only prayer we have of him praying, and it's for us, entirely devoted to us, his followers. Well, it does mention the rest of the world. We're sent that they might believe, and if they do believe, well, it's knowing God, goodness. It's life eternal for you, isn't it? It's saving. Thank you, Heavenly Dad.